Hey puppies, and welcome back to the channel. I know I have been absent for quite a while, but today one thing had to bring me back, and it's the thing that I'm no longer holding in my hand, but it's covering my face. It is the mace. You see, I could have done something better with that. That rhymed. I feel like I let myself down with that. Anyway, it is 24W11A. I don't know when the last Snapshot showcase I did was, but it was probably quite a while ago. I've been watching the coverage of the snapshots so far and looking at them. They're kind of interesting. Nothing super exciting has happened. I mean, this stuff is pretty cool. Ouch. But the real thing that had to bring me back was this. A while ago, I did quite a while ago, no, I believe I did a video that was covering what updates I want to see added to Minecraft. One of them was the combat update. I also did some snapshot showcases a long time ago of, I think it was Jeb specifically, who was working on some combat snapshot update thingamajigs that were like unofficial. They were never released as like snapshots, but it was just literally Jeb himself just working on this stuff. And then I think he passed it over to the main team. So I can't remember. It was so long ago now, I actually can't remember the details. But I remember I was following that. I was eager. I was like, oh, combat update's coming soon. Even though, nothing was confirmed. They were making sure that like people weren't expecting this to be like the next update that happened. But that never happened. Which some of them were pretty bad. We had bow tension. Or bow fatigue, that was what it was called. If you know what bow fatigue was. Yeah, I'm glad that didn't exist. And there were some other things that were made. Mainly, it would have improved bedrock combat a lot, so you can't just, spam click. But, why am I talking about that? That's got nothing to do with today, except it has, because today we got what is officially better than the combat update, and that is one freaking OP weapon. Let's go. Boom. I'm holding in my hand the future of Minecraft combat. PvP and PvE changed for all eternity. This weapon right here, puppies, you better watch out, because this thing is coming to get you. This is the Mace. Today, on a Tuesday, of all things. Okay, so on a Thursday, Mojang's time, it's a Friday for me, but anyway, on a Thursday, Snapshot was released. This does not normally happen, but today they had to make an exception to change the Minecraft history and change the future as well. The Mace was added, alongside other things that we may talk about briefly, but basically, this wall behind me is the future. This wall right here. If we look inside of the chest, we have 3 maces. We also have the breeze rod was added, 2 new armor trims, which is cool, and then something called the heavy core, which makes this noise when you place it. Which is like an even heavier sound of the iron. Like if you place iron blocks, it goes. That's a stone. Okay, there's a metal sound effect, and it's like that, but even heavier because it's heavy. So what is the mace? So the mace is a brand new weapon that was added in this snapshot. This weapon is a lot different to other weapons because unlike just a regular old sword where you just take a sword, point at something, smack, smack, smack. Once, in Java Edition, once it reaches the bar underneath or to the side of the hotbar, reaches the full extent, you're dealing the maximum damage. You can also do critical hits by falling, which is something we're going to be talking about a lot today. But boring! Very basic. There's also axes, which are just like swords, but take longer and deal a little bit more damage. This is like both combined. This is like an axe, but an axe to the next level. This weapon, puppies, is the mace. The mace is an extremely unique weapon because not only does it have devastatingly powerful effects, but it also needs a little bit of help to pull it off. So, as you can see when you craft a mace or hold a mace in your hand, it says 7 attack damage with 1.6 attack speed. If we compare this to a sword, this has 8 attack damage with 1.6 attack speed. So it's already worse than a netherite sword. Same level as a diamond sword though. So you may be thinking, what is this? What are you saying? Revolutionize? No, this thing is garbage. And you would be completely wrong. Unfortunately, this thing has something... What can I beat up with this? Creepers. Definitely creepers. Okay. Because, well, if I put some creepers down here and just whack them with this thing, it takes 3 hits to kill. If I left-handed crit, still 3 hits to kill. If I land 2 crits, wait, Okay, so yeah, 2 crits and it's killed. Just the same as an unenchanted diamond sword. But where it gets very interesting is when you start going from even higher depths. So before we jump straight into this, if you aren't sure of the specifics of a critical hit, all a critical hit is when you attack a mob while you are falling. So that can be you are half a step off the ground, just like me right now, where I'm barely above the ground at all, or that could be me falling from an incredible height, and I would still... I cannot double jump anymore. It's leaving! So it doesn't matter how far off the ground you are, it just matters that you are actively falling when you hit the mob. You can even be below the mob and still hit a crit. That's just how it works, technically. But the mace is a little bit different, because the mace actually measures how far you have fallen by the time you hit the mob. So, for example, if I was to just get out of myself a sword, and I was just going to crit this mob. There we go. So the crit with the netherite sword, there we go. We got the 1 crit and then 1 regular sword. But if I take the mace out and I just fall like this, hang on, it just dies. This mob has 20 health, which is standard for regular monsters or players or anything. 20 HP. Dead. 1 shot by this weapon. This is vanilla, guys. Okay, the coolest thing, I can't use creepers for this because it could blow up if I mess up and then we'd be screwed. But what I can do is I can use husks. So don't burn up in sunlight. If I jump into survival mode here, now if I was to just fall off this platform, I take a half, 1.5 hearts of damage. That's what I'm trying to say. But if I do this, I don't even take damage. This is the Mace. This weapon one-shots your enemies while making you immune to fall damage if you're good enough. All those MLGs you've heard of, you know, with the water buckets, or with the lava buckets, with the boats, with the beds, with the hay bale, with the anything. Who cares? Out of the window, because all of those do nothing. But this one will hurt your enemies. If I put a monster all the way down here, and then it moves. Oh, it hit me in the air. That was incredibly skilled. That husk knows what it's doing. But the coolest thing is, this mace is overpowered. So, basically, the mace takes how far you have fallen and amplifies your damage via that. For example, if I was to jump off this giant iceberg and land on a platform where I could then kill a mob, well, yeah, I think I just spoiled the ending. I'll be killing the mob. I'm going to bring in a Ravager. A beast. It was originally going to be called the Behemoth, or something like that. Incredibly dangerous, incredibly tanky mob. And then if I go into survival mode, I do have keep inventory on. There we go. And then I jump. I'm not sure what the damage was. I think that was the mob hitting me, actually. Because, I mean, if I would get hit by a Ravager, it would be... Yeah. Jeez. Okay, so all the damage that I'm taking is the Ravager hitting me, and the mobs hitting me. I guess I could summon a no AI one. Okay. So this is a Ravager that has no artificial intelligence built into it, which is good. It won't take over the wall. But basically, this Ravager will not attack, will not do anything. It also has no gravity. But if I go all the way up here again, so this Ravager won't hit me, but it still has the same normal health. It's still just the same as ever. This is just the command I use to summon it. Let me get myself more health. That's just instant health as well, so I'm not regenerating myself. I'm just getting myself back up to full health after I got killed by Ravager. And then if I do this... So what happened there? I took a heart of damage. The interesting thing was, their Ravager was a couple blocks off the ground. So by the time I hit the Ravager, then it only calculated the full damage from there. So not only will the mace obliterate your enemy, so if I jump off of an iceberg and hit a Ravager, I one-shot it. But it also means that it negates full damage. Why is this? Well, that's because you want to be falling large distances. And for example, if I was just to crit on a husk, for example, from here with a sword in survival mode. Well, it's not very far away now, but you're just going to start taking a bunch of fall damage if you jump off of things. So normally all you're doing to laying crits is just jumping generally, rather than jumping and then taking full damage, because that doesn't feel good. Whoops, I used a wind charge. But now the addition of the mace is actually about getting as much high ground as you can, because, you know, it's over once you have the high ground. So, the other thing, and the thing that Mojang themselves said was useful about this. So, recently, the wind charge was added. We carried away playing with wind charges, but if you were to use a wind charge and then attack a bunch of mobs, so let's put a bunch of mobs down. Ow. Oh no! I just took a screenshot. My bad. I forgot about the them being angry. But wind charges can help you to use this at any point, because obviously you can't always jump off of a giant iceberg to hit a mob. But what you could just do is, in the heat of battle, you pillar up, and instead of just being, haha, you can't get me anymore, now what you can do is fall down and just one-shot the enemies. This weapon is incredible in revolutionizing everything to do with Minecraft combat. Now, does it mean that you can throw out all of your swords and never use them again? Not necessarily, no. This is more of an endgame weapon, or weapon you use in niche circumstances, such as jumping off of a really high building, pillaring up and then hitting something, or if you're really good at it, using a wind charge. But I'm not. And also, these things don't even propel you up that way. Maybe if you hit it at the right point. Ooh, hang on, I'm getting some pretty good height there. Okay, so I put this in my offhand. And the problem is it blows the enemies. So the other thing to think about the mace is that it actually gives knockback as well. So if I just use it on this guy, nothing happens. But then if I'm falling when I do it, boom! Look at that! Huge knockback. But you have to be falling from a decent enough height as well. So that means you can just land normal clicks with this thing. But it's about up, up, up. I can't do it. There we go. This thing is pretty cool. So, if my random ramblings and getting used to using this weapon is convincing enough for you to want to get one, how do you craft yourself a mace? Well, it's actually quite interesting. There are two brand new ingredients to this version that you'll need. That is, one of them is the heavy core, and the other thing is the breeze rod. How do you get a breeze rod? Well, I think that's pretty obvious. It's a breeze. Breeze rod. So killing breezes now gives you breeze rod. So if I enter spectator mode, activate. Activate. Whoop. Oh gosh, strays! I think what's really cool about these weapons, though, so what we have here is a mace. Yeah, obviously, I've been talking about that the whole time, but if I was to summon a couple breezes here, I can get one shot where I deal huge damage, and then the next one I can just crit. Man, these things are awesome. So, anyway, what I'm trying to say is, if you can kill breezes now, they actually drop breeze rods. Now, you may be thinking, what on earth? Why do we get wind charges? Well, don't worry, it's still the same thing as before. It actually just means they give more wind charges. Because now you can craft one rod into... Wait, what? One rod goes into 4 wind charges. I don't know what happened before. Oh, I filled up that stack before. Okay. Okay, so one rod turns into 4 wind charges. So that means you're getting at least 4 wind charges for every rod you get. And I've been getting, with no looting, I've been getting a pretty good amount of these rods. So they may actually always drop at least 1 rod. And then with looting, you can even increase that probably, just like blazes. Which is pretty cool. So, yeah, pretty cool. Which means you're getting a lot of wind charges as well. The other thing you need is The heavy core. What the heck is this thing? I don't know. It looks like something out of Tinker's Construct, if you've ever played with that mod. I just can't get that out of my... Looks like a little fluid tank thing. Not sure where that isn't loading in. Woo! I'm rich! Let's see... Wow, that was not a single heavy core in all of that.
Okay, let's try again. This still wasn't. Wow, this is a rare. Either it's rare or it's bugged. Could be either one. I think that's a bit light as well.
A new item you can find by unlocking trial chamber vaults. Weird. It does say they updated the loot table, so I might be able to look at the loot table. Vaults. Vaults and trial chambers can now eject wind charges, bolt armor trims, flow armor trims, flow banner patterns, gust and heavy core. So those were added. Huh. That was interesting. Okay, so presumably that is still how you get these things. So once you can get one of them, then you can craft yourself a mace. With just simply one breeze rod and one heavy core, and you get yourself a mace. A mace has 3 each. 250 durability at base. But here comes the all-important test. If you want to see if your weapon is truly powerful or not, there's only one way to really test that. And that is whether your weapon can actually be enchanted. I'll do it in creative now that you can do that. Sharpness 5? Yep. And looting. There we go. You can also enchant maces the same as you would any other weapon. I presume that is also the case in survival. I'll just 100% double check. Wait. No way. You can't enchant them? First off, I thought that they changed that you could enchant anything with anything in creative. I thought they changed that. That's like in like 1.14 or something. That's interesting. Okay, so you don't seem to be able to enchant it in survival. Whoa, well that makes things a little bit different. So if you can't enchant it with looting, mending, unbreaking, or sharpness, then that means the only thing you can do in an anvil with a one is just fix it a bit with some breeze rods. Okay. That makes it a little bit more balanced, I think. But even though you technically can't enchant it, that's an illegal item, that doesn't mean that this weapon isn't fantastic. I think this is a very, very good weapon. Like I said, there were some other changes in Snapshot. If you're interested in them, look at the changelog or something, because I'm not going to necessarily go over them right now, but I do think it's very exciting what we've got going on right here in the Snapshot. The mace, also some other changes that were here, but mainly just this mace. I don't think I'll be able to get over this for quite a while. This was such a shock. I mean, to be fair, wolf armor, wolf variants. I mean, that is the wrong type of wolf. Anyway, wolf variants that do exist. Oh, sorry, that's a little bit inhumane. My bad. It was a wolf armor? No, you don't, because you're untamed. Okay. So, just don't get me wrong. I love all the other changes that have happened so far in this snapshot. Not in this snapshot, in this version so far. I mean, mainly just the changes to wolves. Wolf armor is cool, but wolf variants is far better. Not you. You are... Sorry. Sorry, that was a bit rude. Anyway, but maces. Maces are amazing. Also known as Badlands. No, I'm joking. But anyway, maces are fantastic. Maces. I can't, that doesn't sound like a word anymore. Okay. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble, so I'll probably end this here, but I do think it's fantastic. Now you can literally one-shot Ravagers with a single survivable craftable weapon, which is just crazy. But it's still balanced, and that doesn't mean throw away all your swords, because you still have to be good as well, otherwise you die. That's the thing that I actually failed to mention earlier, is that maces do not just negate full damage if you have them in your hand. You actually have to hit something with the mace for it to be able to. But it doesn't have to be technically an enemy. You could hit like a fish, or a cow, or chicken, or something like that. But yeah, they don't just negate full damage entirely. Like you're in creative mode, you actually have to use them correctly. But it is pretty cool, and it's just mainly for the combat use. The reason that they don't, you don't take full damage, but fantastic. Don't know where the heavy cores are, but they are cool looking. I don't know, they could be used for decoration and stuff. I'm sure someone will come up with some cool thing to use. Maybe like hang them from the ceiling on chains or something. Or not. Or not. Yeah, or not. That's the same. These things are weird. They're kind of like player heads. They're shaped like player heads. But anyway, or any mob heads, I suppose. But that is going to be just about all for today. Sorry for the huge break in between uploads, but maybe we'll get more regularly into it. I'm planning to do a little bit more survival Let's Play, probably once 1.20 is released, 1.21, sorry, is released, but not too much super exciting going on in Minecraft, but the wolf variants and now this mace might be enough to bring me back, but we'll see. But yes, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to dance on one foot when you're pressing the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Maces!